All right, y'all. Today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search and for its city search if it's got BSS, yes or no. So we're back here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Learn more about that, pin post, pin profile, whatever. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We're missing people somewhere on our intent ladder here. Either the high intent people or low intent people or mid intent people. Here on this profile, this channel, this brand, we talk about BSS, boudoir search sameness, which we'll get into. We focus on the highest intent people. People search for boudoir photo shoots right now on social search and Google search, literally typing it in because that's what we want right now. On our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, we talk about BLCS on our other profiles. And right now we work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1, that's killing us because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never go past page 1. So, and we want to deal with that 80% pack. That's the majority. That only stick on page 1, which means if we got 0 slots, we're invisible to them. If we got 1 slot, we're still essentially invisible because everyone else on the front page 1 has got 1 slot as well. So we don't stand out. They're just going to click through, click everyone's link over in everyone's, website, fill out the contact form. We actually are, what we teach here, so we want to hit the GBC minimum of actually 3 out of 10 on page 1. That means, they'll see our name 3 times on page 1. It's totally doable if using the correct strategy. And that looks totally different than everyone else having 1. Sometimes, occasionally someone will have 2, but dude, if we got 3, no, basically no one else will have 3. Ideally, we want to have as many as possible, but 3, definitely doable. Any boudoir photographer can do. 0, 1 though, that's bad because 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. The first root cause that everyone knows about, market saturation. And that is, more boudoir photographers entering the market, every day, every week. Seems like anytime everyone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website, saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, which clusters page 1 on Google and probably kicking us off of there, kicking us down to page 2 where we're invisible and we're dead from page 2 of Google. But the bigger problem that nobody's pointed out, I've never seen anyone point this out before, and what I see as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses is the false belief of page 1 equality. There's a false belief that every boudoir photographer is entitled or can have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. So if I have my 1 slot, okay, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Or, there's more market saturation. All right, I got pushed off page 1, now I'm on page 2, but I got 1 slot on page 2, but that's fine. So I'm 0 slots on page 1, 1 slot on page 2, but that's how it is, that's the game. No, incorrect. I'm from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. We can actually take as much page 1 real estate as we want to put in the work to take. And because people resign themselves to, okay, either 0 or 1 slot, it's like people haven't even tried to take more slots when Google wants to give the slots to the people that wants the slots the most. That's the goal of Google, and obviously the most relevant search term to the user search. Now, a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, so 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google, that's boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because if they're on page 1, they got 1 slot, they look the same as everyone else, they're essentially invisible. They're going to be outcompeted, price shopped. And if they're on page 2 or anything, they're dead. 80% ain't even going there. And the precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business is having BSS becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer. That's the first time. That's like the canary in the coal mine. But we got the solution because we know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know that because we invented it. It's actually been utilizing it about the last 7 months. Happy with its results, so we're bringing it to market now. And S-cube methodology is actually a system that allows us to take as much search real estate as possible on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, and YouTube search. And once we take that real estate, the back end effect is taking as many slots on page 1 of Google as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. And the special thing about S-cube methodology, this is the only thing, literally the only thing that I've seen that can successfully outcompete market saturation. The only thing that can do it make progress towards it within 30 days, visible progress. Obviously, the only other thing would be brand, but that takes years to build. But if we want to fight back against market saturation, literally in the next month, we can do that S-cube methodology. And also, it's the only thing I've seen that even if there are 1 million boudoir photographers in our city, and we decided, so super maximum market saturation, they got their website, whatever. Each one's got their website. If we took S-cubed methodology to the max, and we, ranked the first 300 slots across all social search for, boudoir photographer, whatever, Charlotte, North Carolina, that then flows to Google. So basically anywhere any woman searches for a boudoir photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, we've taken up the first 300 slots, and Google, each page is 10 slots, so we're taking out the first 30 pages of Google. Our business will be fine. Our business will be growing. We'll be the fastest growing business in the city. Even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers, because we successfully used S-cube methodology to outcompete market saturation. That's the magic of it. Well, one of the magic things of it. There's also some more magical things on the back end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. So we want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 local, 3 out of 10 for our city. Because 0, if we got 0 on page 1, or on page 2, we're dead. If we got 1 on page 1, we're still invisible, still basically dead. So, we'll be price shopped to death. 2, that's better. There's a chance that someone else will have 2 though. 3, basically no one else is gonna have 3. So then we'll definitely be standing out versus the 1 slotters, and we'll also still be standing out against the 2 slotters if we got 3 slots. The extra bonus is every new link that we get on page 1, we kick competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So either we do it to them, or eventually someone in our city is probably going to use this strategy and do it to us. And if they're working with me, well, I'm only working with one person in a city at a time, so y'all got to figure out how to do this yourself and put in the time to actually execute it. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. Okay, so we're actually being seen in search because we got 3 out of 10. We hit the GBC minimum. We can go higher, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But we want to hit the GBC minimum. Because we get more and more visible, higher and higher chance people come to us, less and less chance people price shop, and there's fewer boudoir photographers to price shop against on page 1. So we're going back. We're kicking our competitors completely off page 1, making them essentially invisible. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So it's our full micro universe here. disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the two horns of market saturation and page one equality. And we got the solution though, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and boudoir search, and we have boudoir search visibility. And that's starting the momentum. We can take this momentum as far as we want to go to also be dominating page one, as many slots as we want to go for. Now this is my results using this. Was bringing basically ranking for this term up at the top. Bring it out here eventually. Term is BLCS Boudoir. All right, here we go. BLCS Boudoir. It's for the other account, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, the other accounts, the other brand. So we see we got the AI overview, which is not me yet. Got the Google Map Pack. And then we got, here we go. Now we got the organic. So I got slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, did this in 10 days. Someone searching BLCS Boudoir. Who are they coming to? Obviously me. It's person number 9. They don't stand any chance. And this is in 10 days. I could keep going. I could take, eventually, I believe, takes that slot 9 as well. And so these are my results doing this. All right, main event here. I see this boudoir photography business, see if they got their local search or their city search, if they got BSS for either of those. So we're going to East Hampton, Mass. All right. Going up here, East Hampton. All right, so let's see what we got here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. And all right, so we got, all right, good. Local, we got 3. Got our recommended, we do not have BSS. We hit the 3 out of 10 recommended minimum. All right, now we're going to Springfield, Mass. Let's see what we're cooking up here. So, all right, we're at 0 out of 10 for our city search. So we got BSS for this one. So let's see. All right, so local search, we ain't got BSS, and we did reach the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. City search, we got 0 out of 10 slots, city search. So yes, we got BSS, and we are not meeting the recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search for the city search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done the local search for yourself for the highest intent buyer keywords, and the highest intent, and you've done the city search for yourself for the highest intent buyer keywords, and you have BSS for one or both of them, and or you have not met the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots for one or both of them, and you understand the market saturation. Yeah, people get new gear. Okay, more boudoir photographers always over time. It's always increasing. And you want to kick out those current competitors. And you're seeing S-cubed methodology is the only path to successfully do that. But you're also thinking ahead of, man, AI is taking more and more people's jobs, it seems, every day. So if AI is taking more and more people's jobs every day, then there's probably going to be more and more. It's going to be like the third prong of things that's pushing more boudoir photographers. And it's not just new iPhone or new camera. It's now losing jobs due to AI. So you see, okay, more and more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market. We actually want to increase the kind of pre-fortify our position before this monster tsunami, or kind of this increasing wave of new boudoir photographers enters the market, competing with us for page one. Want to pre-fortify our positions and expectations. That kind of like the levees in New Orleans. I think it's like the built up sandbag things to keep the ocean at bay because the city is below sea level. And we actually want to decide you want to pre-fortify your position to also pre-fortify your position on Google page one to all the new boudoir photographers that will eventually be coming in because more and more people lose their job to AI. And you're also seeing, hey, S-cubed methodology is the only path for that. You've accepted that page one equality is a false belief, and Google will actually give us as many slots on page one as we want to put in the effort to take. So you've accepted the false belief of page one inequality is false. So you want to use S-cubed methodology, you see as the only solution, and you want the page one visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you know you need this on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also want the two hidden back-end benefits of successfully executing S-cubed methodology every single day, which is kind of the more we execute it, the keywords that we use that we're starting to rank for, show up social search for, saturate that, show up Google page one for. It's basically building thematic keyword columns attached to our entire internet brand, our social accounts, our website, out there in the minds of AI. So every single day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we actually increase the probability that AI overview here recommends us, and Google still is about 90% of search, slowly decreasing every day though. So higher chance we get the the premium placement slot here, AI overview, because it's pulling from, our frequency, our density, our authority, our age of these different thematic keyword columns that S-cube allows us to tackle. So increase in probability of being shown up here and increase in probability of being showing up for all the AI search apps, ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, and we got Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. So kind of all this hidden back-end AI brain momentum every single day. It's kind of building up momentum every single day we execute S-cubed methodology. And you're seeing, since my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, that you decide you want to hop on this first, be a first mover, because every single day we execute methodology correctly, we're getting the initial benefits, the quick future benefits, and the longer term momentum AI brain recommendation benefits, building up the momentum, and you're putting massive gap between you and all the current competitors, and definitely all the ones that have not entered yet, but we know they will because AI will be taking a bunch of people's jobs. And so you want all that, and you also see if some other boudoir photographer in your same city were to work with me instead, that you would actually have to figure out S-cubed methodology on your own, and you would never actually know if you've rederived it correctly. And then you'd have to go equal our execution every single day, execute an S-cubed methodology, which you'd have to equal our effort and you'd have to be confident in it, which you would not have 100% confidence because you would not know if you've even derived S-cubed methodology correctly in the first place. And to do all that effort, you would simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor have already built up against you. To actually close the gap, you'd have to double or triple outwork us every single day to close that gap. Basically kind of steal back that thematic keyword column momentum attached to your competitor's brand in the AI brain, the AI search brain for all these AI apps, and pull it back to your brand. And so you decide, okay, screw that. I'd rather just be the first mover and not be dealing with the laggard position of not being, the #1 boudoir photographer in my city, because I know a ton of boudoir photographers going to be entering because of AI taking people's jobs. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. When I open my DMs for new patient intake, the hospital is currently closed. We're not currently taking in any new patients. But when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.